on Geary Boulevard and 17th Avenue in San Francisco
Adam
witnessed multiple shoplifters. One of them even took the time to explain why he simply didn't pay.
Nice guy.
Off-camera,
San Francisco,
a
bro.
employee told me they're hit anywhere between 15 to 20 times a day. Out of frustration, a week and a half ago,
Look at that.
they decided to chain
You're
out their
locking
freezer
up
section.
ice cream?
This is one of the hardest hit areas in their store.
Are you kidding
now,
me?
When you want something, you have to press this button. A message goes off on the overhead speaker, and an employee comes to unlock the freezer. According to the employee,
Are you kidding me? This is San Francisco, folks, 8 months ago.
They can't challenge shoplifters.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's still happening. What, did you think they stopped? You didn't stop? Here's my question to you, though. I know they incentivize bad behavior, but can you explain to me, just in layman terms, as the politician, as the mayor, as the people that are running San Francisco, what defunding the police and making a $950, like, why are you doing that? You want this to happen. Why? I'm confused. Do you want people just to go on Amazon and do these big corporation buys? Because they're killing these companies. They're killing the smaller mom and pop shops. It's like it's a coordinated effort. This isn't by accident, Tom. This is by design.
Yeah, this is income redistribution, number one. This is also the city trying to, reduce its welfare expense by actually, you move the consequence off to $950. You do not enforce arrests of people for misdemeanors. And basically what you have is income redistribution, where corporate America is basically providing food stamps and things for people who just want to take it. Unfortunately, if you take a look at it, you've got high dollar items and alcohol and things that are being stolen. And so the question really is, all they have to do is move the law back down, move it back down to $250, that it's grand theft for $250, number one. Number two, you take and you put officers. You don't need a squad of officers and a police dog. You need one guy. At various stores.
A deterrent.
To provide deterrent. Yeah. And that because otherwise, if you tell the store, you have to live with the shrinkage and you have to hire it, there's also lawsuits. Let's say Pat's dad was working in San Francisco at a store and he reaches out and he tells somebody, don't steal that. And then he gets injured. Then he sues his employer and said, you didn't provide security and protection for me. And a robber that is coming in every day hurt me. So that's why they tell their employees, don't interfere and get yourself hurt because they don't want to get sued. And so the city knows it and understands it, that the path to solution here is actually not difficult, but the city, especially...
So, Tom, this is what it makes me think about. Here's what it makes me think about.
Not going to do it.
Yeah, it makes me think about this. I wrote a few things down. So they're either doing this, because they want the vote. And to keep the vote, you have to make sure you keep the poor poor. There's a lot of power in keeping the poor poor. Adam, you're good?
Can we coloring?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. There's power in keeping the poor poor. There's a lot of power in keeping the poor poor. There's a lot of power in keeping the uneducated uneducated. What was the most powerful thing about the movie Book of Eli? What was it?
With
this one book, I can control the world, right? With this one book. Yep. And he was one of the only guys that knew how to read. What do you got to do? You don't want to teach other people how to read. That was the way a lot of envious people that are driven by power and force do. I don't want to keep you poor, keep you dumb, keep you uneducated. One time, one of my friends called me, says, hey, Pat, I know you're all about recommending books to your employees and all these guys, but some of these guys are starting to question some of the things that we're doing that we can do it better, man. I'm thinking about no longer letting my guys read books. I said, that's the whole idea. You want your guys to be reading books because you want them to develop and be thinking in a different way. So one, they're either wanting these communities to be able to get away with this because they keep their vote. Number two, they want to destroy these cities so people leave, okay? Number three, they hate success and they're envious of anybody with wealth and success. Those three are the ones. Or they're just terrible leaders and they're dumb. So we have to pick and choose. Which of those four is it?
I don't think it's the dumb one.
You think they want to keep the vote? Do you think it's they want to destroy the people because they want them to leave to other cities? Or do you think they hate success and they're envious of people with wealth?
I think number one would be my number one.
1 and 3.
Okay, well, guess what happens with 1 and 3? Here's what happens with 1 and 3. The same way the 99-cent store model has a lifespan because eventually and forget about it's Biden's fault. No, I'm not talking about that. Under any administration, that model that's tied, if the brand is tied to a number, you're eventually not going to succeed, right? Eventually, the people that you keep poor, You know what happens to a couple of them? A couple of them realize how dirty you are, and what do? They revolt against you, okay? That happens in movies. That happens with many different things. And number 3, you hate success and wealthy people? Guess what? They are never, ever losing any opportunities of going to another company, another country, another state. People are always looking for great businesses. So those two are going to destroy a city, and then eventually they're going to be like, what happened to San Francisco? You know, we used to be like the greatest city in the world. Well, bad policies drove a lot of great people out.
So Dave Chappelle actually said it best. So Dave Chappelle is Killing Me Softly. It was in, 1999? I'll sum it up real quick. He tells the story about he's doing stand-up. And a limo driver picks him up. And the limo driver's all cool. And he's like, hey, man, where you from? D.C.? Yeah, man, D.C. cool. All right, cool. Yeah, what you doing in town? Yeah, I do a comedy show. And he gets a phone call. He's like, say what? Hold on. He did what? I'm on my way. And then all of a sudden he starts driving off. And Dave Chappelle's just in the back of the limo. And he goes, I just look around. I see gun store, liquor store, gun store. Where the fuck are you taking me? And he realized, oh, shit, he's going to the hood.
Yeah.
And amazing thing from Dave Chappelle. But the point is this. It comes down to 3 things. Supply and demand, investing and divesting.
I'm still trying to find out what purpose of that story.
So the point is this. When you start eliminating necessary corporations and stores from the communities that need it most, the 99-cent store example we just talked about for 10 minutes, who needs it most? The poor people.
Of course.
You just had a cicada moment.
Yes.
Cicada?
Cicada moment. But by the way,
we talk about the San Francisco stores that are closing grocery stores. People need decent food.
Yeah.
So they don't eat at freaking Burger King and McDonald's and shitty stores every single day. Chick-fil-A, shout out to that. Walgreens, we did a story about 2 months ago. Ariana Presley was the congresswoman in Boston, slamming Walgreens for shutting down because everything was getting robbed. The point is, these bad policies have consequences, whether it's a 99-cent store, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a Walgreens and a pharmacy.
For what it's
with
worth.
law and order, these stores will leave.